Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to our daily stock market insights. Uh, this is a recorded video, and we are going to cover our analysis for January 28, 2020. And let's start with, of course, PSEI. Let's analyze how PSEI or our index moved in today's market. Okay, so yesterday we were talking about this, and I said that we might see some more downward movements in the coming days. And true enough, in today's market, we have experienced a decline. Although, what I can see at the moment is that there is a another support that was built previously in the area where it is at right now. Therefore, I'd like to plot that okay over here, and then of course same behavior happened when the price reached in that level. So I'd say tomorrow is going to be a wait and see game. Let's see if most of the actions will happen above that yellow line that we have plotted there. If more bearish actions will happen, then that means this support is broken and we might have another wave uh, pointing downwards in the coming days. Okay, so tomorrow is a wait and see game. So 7,470 level will be an area of focus. Now, so what is the implication of this? Whatever movements we have here in the index will potentially be the movements of the major stocks in the Philippine market tomorrow. Okay, so but then again, we are going to still review the individual performance of these stocks. And let's start. And since this is a recorded video, we are going to just go ahead and filter our stocks here and work our way from the stocks with the highest trade and then work our way downwards. And the very first stock that had a 4,500 trades, that would be our very popular JFC or Jollibee Foods Corporation. And at a glance, you can see here that today's market was very bearish for Jollibee. Now we broke the MA20 line over here, and what it means is that we might trigger some more downward movements in the coming days. Specifically tomorrow, I feel that this level will be hit. Okay, the 202.26 or 202 level will be hit, and let's see if it will bounce, because previously there was a support that was formed here, right? Also supported over here, and of course some consolidation that happened in this area. So let us see if it is not going to break tomorrow. However, if it will break, then of course I'd say there's a big chance that this 191 or 185 will be tested one more time. So let us see over here, for example. There you go. So two areas, at least you have two areas to watch out for um, as a possible area of bounce. Now, overall, what I can say for Jollibee is that I am always positive with the future or with the outlook of Jollibee, considering how stable it is in the Philippine market. There are so many projects, and of course, the loyalty of Filipinos to this brand is really, really amazing. Now, let's go ahead and jump into BDO. BDO over here has also triggered the MA20 line. It broke the MA20 line, and most of the action happened below that level. So I would have to say be extra careful, because we might see BDO decline even further in the coming days. So as you notice over here, back in October to November, most of the actions really happened um, in an upward direction, and then we did some stabilization or sideways movement for 2 months, and then right now I think it is about to dip one more time. So I will not be surprised because this kind of pattern is really very common in any stock. Okay, so when it goes up, then next action is it will go sideways first before it dips. Now if it's on a downward direction, it goes down and then stabilize first before it changes its direction. So I would have to say this is what happened here for BDO. It went up, did some sideways, and most likely it will dip. So that is the behavior that I see happening in the coming days for BDO. Web, as we mentioned yesterday, be extra careful because it is potentially going to decline. It is not usual for web to have, a very dramatic increase in the price and sustain at that level. So I think it has, let me see, um, okay. So I think the movement here was, of course, triggered by the news that came out wherein Web is going to acquire a gaming there. So there are talks about acquiring an online gaming business, and this was reported 5 days ago. Now, still, this is a speculation because there are no concrete actions yet, but at least there's something to look forward to. And normally in the Philippine market, whenever a stock is involved in a news, be it positive or negative, these news influence the movement in the market. So that was very promising news back then. That's why we had a significant increase in the price. But I mentioned previously that normally it will only stay, that momentum will only stay within 2 to 3 days, and after that it declines. So a lot of stocks normally have that kind of behavior. The reason being is that the Philippine market is filled with so many traders. So you only have a few people really into investing, especially when we talk about secondary stocks. Web is a secondary stock. It's not part of the index, so chances are when it goes up, it goes down very quickly as well. Next would be URC. URC, I would have to say also be extra careful because there's a big chance that this will continue to decline. And I'd like us to plot our next support at the MA20 level. The reason why I said that is because of this area being a support. So it created a support in that level, and then you also had support over here, and this area was your resistance previously. Okay, so there's a big chance that we will have something like this. It will revisit that and then challenge your MA20 line and then potentially go up again or even break it. So either way, this will play a game changer here. Whatever the action is around the 150 level will influence the next movement of or the next direction of URC. So overall, let's see how we're performing. So we're just at the mid-range. You had resistance over here. Oops. This used to be a resistance. Also a resistance over here. So chances are it will revisit that, and let's just hope it will bounce right away. BPI. Okay. For BPI, we are still positive with the movement of BPI. I'd like us to still plot our support in this area, 81.85. It's not moving. Okay. Okay, around 81.79. Let's see if we'll have a possible bounce around that area. I think this is going to be a solid support right in the area where we plotted it. You notice over here, I'll change the color so it's pretty. So over here you had a previous resistance, previous support as well in this level, and then it was already tested right here. So I feel strongly in the area in the 81.79 area, that being a support. Okay, concept wise, previous resistance will eventually become a support, or previous support becomes a resistance when most of the action happens below the support area. Okay, so which is exactly what happened here. Now there was a rejection, then of course it declined, but at one point it broke that resistance, therefore you now have a brand new wave. Now when it dips, the next thing it will challenge is your previous resistance over here. It will create again a brand new support over there, then it bounced. Same thing here. Okay, so let us see if we will have some more bullish movements in the coming days for BPI. Let's see next. Tech. Okay, tech. So I'd say we are correct in our insights yesterday. We feel that this is going to decline, and yeah, indeed it declined. You were given 4 days, actually 1 week to decide. So this was a bearish candlestick. It's a shooting star, and then this stock has been struggling to climb up, and for several days it's just flatlining in the area, and that broke. So where could it land next? I'd say, yeah, let's stick to 7.95 as, or 7.84. It's an area anyway. So reason why I said that is, of course, you had in this level being your support, and then it might potentially test that again. Very timely because that is the area where you have your MA20 line. So key area to watch out for, 7.84. Meralco. Meralco, I don't feel safe yet. While it's true that overall Meralco is a very established company, I think they've monopolized uh, the area of electricity or power in the entire Luzon. So overall, in terms of fundamentals, this is a very stable company. But talking about the chart or technical analysis using our indicators, I feel that we might have some more bearish movements in the coming days. Okay, so this is a bearish candlestick. So I'd say I'd like to wait first for the possible area of bounce before I can say or can add some more insights. So I have to move back. Let me see if I have a better story if I zoom out to a weekly chart. Okay, so where could it land next? Okay, yeah, 268.84. Okay, so the next question you'll ask me is why did I plot it there? Okay, so again, This one used to be a support over here, okay, and then it was also revisited in this level, although it's just a wick. The next thing I found here was another resistance. There you go. Let's zoom out and backtrack a bit. Yeah, I think we have okay, another one over here. So I think that's the nearest support that we can watch out for. And we are now in a weekly chart, meaning every candlestick would mean 1 week. So if you are to you know, zoom in a little bit on a daily time frame, now you'd see. Okay, normally you can do that if you find it really difficult to do back testing because it's like this, super far. Oops. So you expand your yeah, see, it's really my basis was already sort of way back. Okay, so that is it for Meralco. KPPI. KPPI, let us see what happened here. Wow, what does this mean? It's respecting the line we created? Could that be it? Okay, let us see. Well, hopefully that gets, that sustains and we have a bounce, hopefully. But just in case it breaks that, well, um, the next area to watch out for would be your 8.95. Let's try to analyze volume, because one of our friends in Investagrams also mentioned that I should also take a look at the volume. Okay, notice over here, so my uh, insights here is that your volume is still showing a steady increase in the volume, right? So even if this one, so for 2 consecutive days, there's already a noticeable increase in the volume, but it only took one whole day for these people to get out, right? So probably 75% of them already exited the trade. So there's a significant volume for the bearish candlestick today. So let's try to zoom and go back to uh, the previous volume. So this was the time when you had really a significant volume over here. Okay, so this one, when it dipped, so noticeable volume as well, so it's really a huge. Now if we have that, does that mean it will already change its direction? No, not yet. So the what you want to see here is that you should see a declining volume as you move down. So eventually, right here, there were still some more bearish movements here. We still decreased in the price, right? But your volume is also slowly decreasing. So that means people here are already holding on to their uh, shares or stocks. They're not giving up. They're not selling it. So the selling pressure has started to die down. Now, what does that imply here? So where are we at? The volume is still noticeably high, so I have a feeling that it can still go down. So the goal here is that when it goes down, we want also volume to go down. So I'd say I would still observe because I have a feeling that it might break this yellow line and retest the MA20 level before it moves up. Just my 2 cents. Reason being is, of course, this volume is still noticeable. It's still high. And yeah, let's revisit this tomorrow. Let's see if my insights are correct. So that's just my um, comparison, considering the previous performance of this stock. Ali. Ali is, let us see. Could this be? All right, so for 5 straight days, we have a green candlestick. But even though this is a green candlestick, we are slightly lower than January 27th performance. So we might have some more bearish movements in the coming days. Wait a minute. Let me just add RSI. Ali. Ali. Okay, so Ali over here is slightly lower, so that means this could just be a resistance. Notice here around January 9 and 10, where we technically did not touch the MA20 level, right? So I have a feeling that this is just a temporary bounce and your downtrend is not over yet. So that's my overall impression here. AC. AC, same story. So like Ali, right? It did not touch the main line, the main MA20 line, but there was a just temporary bounce, and then right away you have witnessed a bearish candlestick. So this means downtrend is not over yet. We might see some more bearish actions in the coming days for AC. MBT, MBT, we are still very near our MA20 line. Okay, even though we are not technically touching it entirely, but as notice as we go near the MA20 level, there is somehow a rejection that's happening. So this is where I'd like us to observe and make a descending triangle here. Okay. So that is your descending triangle. If this yellow line gets broken and you have some more bullish movements, meaning most of the action happens above the 64.60 level, that means you will have a successful change in direction to the upside. But if most of the action happens within the triangle and then breaks the 63.50 level, then chances are more bearish actions will happen in the coming days. PXP, nice. Oh, promising. So I suggest you guys start watching this. Okay, number one is a sudden increase in the volume. So for the longest line, we are just, moving very, very minimal here. Volume wise, not that much, but just today, all of a sudden, there's a significant increase in the volume, pairing it with a bullish candlestick. Okay, so let's find out what happened. 3 hours ago, PXP Energy says drilling starts in Peru, exploration well. So there you have it, guys. another business venture in Peru. So go ahead and read some more information, but overall, I feel positive. I think this is again driven by the news, and you might have some more bullish movements tomorrow. So get in anywhere 9 pesos to 9.76 for me is already a good entry level. Let me go ahead and watch this as well. Add stock PXP. Okay, I'm gonna watch this. Add. Okay. Right, so I have successfully added that. SMPH. SMPH, I don't want to move my line over here. I'm still watching, I'm still checking if this is going to be sustained. Notice very obvious signals here. This being a resistance, also resistance over here, and some stabilization over here. So I feel that hopefully we will experience a bounce, but overall, comparing it, like how far are we from the lowest point and the highest point? We're still very near the highest point, so chances are um, the risk to reward ratio is really more into a risk side. Okay, so even though I plotted it here, I still feel there's a big chance that it will break your 39.55 and it will go revisit. Probably first it will revisit this 37 peso level. Let's close it at, okay, very near anyway. So let me just 37. There you go. So that is our next area to watch out for, because I feel that given, at a glance, where are we at? We're very near a resistance still. So that means this will challenge your 39.55 first. If that gets broken, it might go down to 37. TEL, gosh, it broke your MA20 line. This is a sad story. So I feel that we will have some more bearish, more downward movement for TEL. Check if it will bounce right over here, 987. Oh no. So 987, 988. I hope those people who have entered around the 3,000 peso area, you guys have added some more volume to lower down your cost average. This has been on a steady decline since 2015. Yeah. Hopefully it just stabilizes in that area and then we have a bounce. But we are already in a monthly chart. So watch out for 988.43 level. Let's see if we'll have some light or some signs of hope there. ICT. Okay, let's see. How's ICT? So interesting. You really have to wait and see what happens here. Let's check this area. Okay. So this will act as your resistance, right? See if you will experience some rejection each time it touches the 135 peso level. So if it dips, let's find out and see if it will bounce around 125 peso area, because this used to be a resistance here. Okay, resistance over here, support over here. So it might just test that level first. Okay, so but then again, be extra careful. I don't really recommend entering right now, because if you're just going to use the Darvas box here as your area where you can trade, your risk to reward ratio is not in the ideal setup, right? Ideally, you want to be as near as you can at the 125.73 area, because that's our support. Here is our resistance, and right now you're very near the resistance, so it's not really worth it. So just wait. If it dips, check out the next possible support, see if it will bounce there. SM, stay away for now. Imagine you're still triggering the lower Bollinger Band. You might have some more bearish movements in the coming days. I don't want to plot it yet, because there are so many points that we can consider as the next possible support here, right? So just stay away for now. I'd say maybe 970, 972 area. I have a feeling it will touch this level again. Fruit. Okay. So yes, we are correct once again. I'd like us to this time around check out. Okay, so the first area to check out is your MA20 line. You're very near that anyway. Okay, so you previously had the resistance over here, and then it was also trying to break it previously, because it created a stabilization, right? For several days, whenever that line gets hit, there was a struggle happening, and then one day it just broke that. And then let us see if it, when it revisits the 1.51 level, you will have a successful bounce. So it's a wait and see game, but between now and tomorrow, I feel that there's one more red candlestick. The next would be, where are we? AP. Okay, AP is most likely going to decline some more. Let's see, because there was some consolidation that happened here, right? This level from January 15 to present day, and your RSI has been showing us advanced signals already. Momentum is starting to pick up. So let's see if it will create some more stabilization here and create a much stronger support. I'd like it that way, that at least it stabilizes and creates that strong support. So for those people who are position traders, normally this is already a perfect time for them to start accumulating volume. Maybe if you want to play conservative, wait for one green candlestick to show up before you enter. MWC, okay. Still respecting your MA20 line. As we mentioned yesterday, maybe start monitoring this. If you believe in the fundamentals of the company, start monitoring, because we've been moving very, very smoothly following the MA20 line, and most of the candlesticks here are really just above it. So we might be facing a sudden, outburst in the movement. in the same manner, you had something similar here. You had a constricted Bollinger Band first. So now it's also a constricted Bollinger Band. Most of the action here happened below the MA20 line, but this time around, most of the action is currently happening above the MA20 line. So we might just have the same path, but this time around on a reverse side. Previously it was going down. This time around we might see the movement going up. SECB, I don't feel safe either. Most of the actions are still below the MA20 line, and each time it hits the MA20 level, there's some kind of rejection happening. While it's true that we were able to cross the MA20 level very, at a small percentage, I think this is just less than 1%. So we were able to cross that path, but then again, it did not sustain. So I would like us to observe 185 level. See what happens around 185 because it created a stabilization right there. Let's see if it will also bounce in the area. GTCAP, no. I don't feel safe yet. Price is moving downwards. Even though we're still within the Bollinger Band, I don't feel safe. But let's find out first how much of a dip will it still make. Your RSI already giving us advanced signals. So if it will dip, I have a feeling not that much anymore. But when should you get in? When you see a green candlestick showing up. Okay, so I already have another hint here. Where could it land? This area. Okay, 737.34. The reason why I said that, we did some back testing, and the nearest area where you had a support building is here. You see that? So that was a previous support, and chances are it will revisit that support. No wonder your RSI is already giving us advanced signals. So it might just stabilize at the 737 level. MPI, I don't feel safe either. We might have some more bearish movements here. Let's see first if it will create a support right where it is at right now. If that thing breaks, I remove this first. Let me see. Weekly chart. Okay. So we are now using a weekly chart, and you know what? Let me see one moment. If I move it down here, possible, right? 3.07 or 3 peso area. Let's check that. We're now in a weekly chart, but I have a feeling it will touch the 3 peso area. Your volume is, your RSI is starting to move up here, but we want to see the same pattern when a price hits the 3.07 level. You want your RSI to go moving in an upward direction. Also, if you notice over here, let's use volume once again. So this is just a practice. I want to make sure that my analysis are also correct. So now I'm trying to utilize volume. When it declines, currently your volume on the third day has already started to decline. That means not a lot of people are already selling their position. So if in case it'll dip, it'll just dip really close to where it is at right now. So probably try out 3.07 to 3.10 level as a possible area of bounce. AEV. AEV is still trying to stabilize. Let us see if it will continue to create that stabilization. Oh, we're still in a weekly chart. Let's see, it doesn't matter. We will most likely have the same behavior in a daily chart. Okay, so yeah, we're right. In a daily chart, it has started to trigger your lower Bollinger Band, so chances are it will dip some more. And yes, we are correct in identifying the next area of support. That will be 48.85. See, you see this? Stabilization right here. It was also touched right here. And then, so chances are it will touch that one more time before it goes up again. Okay, I think this is it for today. We ended at AEV. We've identified or we've analyzed from the highest performing stock, meaning the with the most number of trades, and we worked our way downwards and we stopped at AEV. Okay, so there you have it, guys. If this is your first time to watch our stock market insights, I hope you do subscribe, and so you are always updated. In the meantime, you take care and you have a great day ahead, and hope you have great trades tomorrow. Okay, bye bye for now.